Hello everybody, my name is Tide, and today I'm talking about this game, 1 Hour, 1 Life, a multiplayer survival game of parenting and civilization building. But before we get into the specs, this game requires you to have Windows XP or newer, 1.7 gigahertz processor, 2 gigabytes of RAM, a GeForce G210M, which is a laptop graphics card, broadband internet, and 250 megabytes of available space, and also any sound card. Not exactly what I threw in the sound card. Sound cards aren't needed, but nonetheless. 1 Hour, 1 Life is a civilization building game, and everyone's lifespan is within 1 hour unless you die prematurely, and there's quite a few different ways to that. This game requires organization and communication. As you're a baby, you can't really type many words, but as you become an adult, you can type more. This is very important, especially if you don't know what you're doing, because I would say you probably have about 30 to 40 good lives before you actually get a solid grip on everything you're doing, unless you spend an hour in the tutorial like I did. But this game has such a huge learning curve, and it makes it difficult, but once you understand what you're doing, it becomes a lot easier. And the main thing is that everyone dies in an hour, which an hour isn't a lot of time. And with this game, it's hard to explain it, but with this game, you need people to harvest food to feed everyone else doing stuff. You need people to gather wood, you need people to gather stones, you need people to make plates and make baskets and move bodies, make farms, water the farms, tend to the farms, make wells. All of these things are very important, and you only have an hour to do that, and you can only get so much done within an hour. And don't forget, you also have to have someone replace you when you die, because if you have someone that's tending a farm and they go and die and no one's there to replace them, boom, a huge amount of your food resource is cut. Same thing with wood cutting or animal hunting, which you can hunt animals too. Feeding the babies, oh my god, your population can die so fast. I watched a whole civilization die because one woman died. Like, everyone just died off because we couldn't have any babies. It was a weird situation, but it was funny because a bear attacked the village. And don't get me wrong, there's going to be a lot more ways that you're going to die than that. I can 100% guarantee you will be abandoned by your mother in the middle of a forest, and she'll be like, rip, bye, and just drop your ass off and just haul ass into the forest because she can't take care of you. Oh, I miss my mom. But let's digress from that. I haven't been able to really get past the Stone Age because I feel like there's a lot of new people coming in, and with that new player influx, it's kind of still at the beginning. Or not at the beginning, people aren't learning fast enough, I guess you could say. I mean, some people know what they're doing and they know how to get things done, but when you have a uneven amount of new players come into the civilization and the players that know what they're doing die, then you're stuck with an influx of players that don't know what they're doing, which usually cripples the civilization tremendously. And it's something that I watched a couple times. I think I saw like 3 or 4 different civilizations have issues with my generation, the babies that were born with me. Something I also did notice with this game is that it requires a very specific taste. I saw this game and I played it with a friend, and it changed the way I looked at it because I was like, this game, very skeptical. It's very hard, don't get me wrong. And like I said, a huge ass learning curve. But once I got past the basic stages and knew what I was looking for, it became a lot more fluent. And I kind of got addicted to it. I think I played like 7 or 8 hours, and then I was like, oh my god, I need to stop playing this game. Because like once you start knowing what to do, you can get the farm up and running, which is usually the most critical part, because you can't have a civilization without food, and you don't need a drink, so food's usually your biggest priority. But getting water to water your plants, that's an issue, so you have to have people to make wells, or your lakes will dry up, and your eggs, you won't be able to get eggs because the swans can't have eggs when there isn't water. But nonetheless, this game is a very interesting game. I did quite a few different things. I was a farmer and then I became a cook. I really liked cooking for some reason, It's just, I had my whole thing organized until we had a whole bunch of babies and the new players were unorganizing some things. But I had my influx of egg gatherers, and then I just sat there and constantly made eggs. I'd have wood people bring me kindling so I could continue relighting my fire and whatnot. I would have to give this game a 78 out of 100. It was pretty fun playing, and I'm most likely to go back to it. There's just this weird feeling of people talking, well, people giving brief information like we are all in prehistoric time in basic language, like I need eggs, or wood, or flint, or stone, and it's just arbitrary. I guess it's a fun game. Let me know what you guys think about this game down in the comments section. If you guys liked the video, go ahead and hit that like button, and if you want to see more, subscribe.